The patient was crashing and bleeding inside and out. This wasn't an episode of The Pit. This was real life in the intensive care unit at Bethesda Naval Hospital. The patient had open heart surgery, then developed a sternal infection, then another surgery, then sepsis. Not good. In fact, about as bad as it gets. Before this particular crash, and there would be several during his stay, we had settled into the routine that ICU teams know well. Come in early, change into scrubs, get handoff from the previous nurse and corpsman team, check supplies, review the chart, understand the history, review medications, assess the patient ourselves, establish a baseline for the shift. Simple things, core things, done repeatedly. This happened in hundreds of times in the ICU, cardiac ICU, and critical care division at Bethesda Naval Hospital. It happens in hospitals across the world every single day. To me, this was my world. For the patient, it may have been the end of his. Own your mind, move your body, anchor your spirit. This is Own, Move, Anchor with Kevin Pannell. Here we focus on practical leadership, clear thinking, physical readiness, and staying steady when life and work get heavy. Drawing from emergency response, healthcare, project leadership, and everyday life, each episode connects real-world experience to actions you can apply immediately. 3 pillars, 1 powerful you. You can find more at ownmoveanchor.com, and if you're getting value from the show, like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Let's get into it. Then everything changed. Monitors alarmed, blood pressure dropped, more bleeding, more confusion, more urgency, more people entering the room. What I remember most all these years later is this. Nobody panicked. People moved quickly, people communicated clearly, experienced nurses directed traffic calmly, corpsmen moved with purpose, supplies showed up where they needed to be, medications were prepared, tasks were assigned, adjustments were made. Looking back, it wasn't some magic solution that saved him multiple times. It was strong core skills, a team that had worked together before, clear communication, calm under pressure, and a shared focus on one thing, standing between death and that patient. This time, we won. Sometimes we didn't. And over the years, I realized something important. The environments changed, the leadership lessons didn't. That realization followed me from being a corpsman to EMS to incident management teams to PMO leadership to coaching soccer, fatherhood, and even on the Jiu Jitsu mats. Because whether you're on the fire ground on a command post in a meeting or sitting at the dinner table during a hard season in life, the same things still matter. Calm, communication, preparation, trust, accountability, and the ability to stay steady under pressure. That's what I want to talk about today. One thing I've noticed over the years is that almost every environment under pressure eventually relies on systems. Not giant complicated systems, simple, repeatable processes. In the ICU we had routines, shift handoffs, equipment checks, medication reviews, assessments. Nothing flashy, but when things went sideways, those basics mattered. I remember working with a newer RN once who had never placed a Foley catheter on a real patient before. Good person, smart person, but when the pressure hit, he froze up. That's not really criticism, it's reality. Stress tends to expose where we are prepared and where we aren't. I've seen the same thing in EMS, emergency management, project leadership, Jiu Jitsu, even parenting. Pressure increases. People like to fall back on their level of preparation and repetition. That's why basics matter so much. And honestly, ego disappears pretty quickly when the patient crashes. Nobody cares about titles in those moments. They care whether the team can execute. I saw similar patterns years later on incident management teams. Back during the UCI 2015, a large cycling race, we had daily command and general staff check-ins that really helped stabilize the environment. A lot of strong leaders were working together who hadn't necessarily worked together before. Communication rhythm mattered. People knew where things stood, what was changing, what needed attention, and what didn't. That structure creates confidence. I think people sometimes mistake structure for rigidity. But good structure actually creates flexibility. Without communication and coordination, teams start creating workarounds on their own. Then duplicated work starts happening. People get frustrated. Silos develop. Trust drops. Everybody starts burning extra energy unnecessarily. I started calling that chaotic energy. Organized urgency is different. Organized urgency is focused power. Chaotic urgency is wasted calories. And I think that applies almost everywhere. Honestly, most project management office and organizational problems feel very similar to incident management team problems sometimes. Communication issues, unclear ownership, too much ego, leaders either disappearing or over-controlling. Sometimes leaders get too deep into tactical work because they don't trust the team. Other times, teams aren't empowered enough to move towards solutions confidently. The calmest leaders I've worked around usually sound pretty similar regardless of the environment. They ask good questions, clarify priorities, reduce uncertainty, communicate directly, and if something gets missed, they focus on solving the problem instead of protecting themselves politically. They create calm for teams. Strong executive communication really isn't that different from operational briefings. Be direct, be transparent, take a breath, and make decisions. Projects are incidents without sirens. Fatherhood changed a lot of my leadership perspective too. As my sons grow older, I've realized I have to give them more room to make decisions. Same thing with the project managers I lead, same thing with emergency crews I was part of, same thing with the soccer players that I coach now. At some point, people need space to grow into responsibility. That's uncomfortable sometimes because you can usually see mistakes coming ahead of time. But controlling everything doesn't really develop people. I've also had moments where I lost my cool and my son stayed calmer than I did. And that humbled me pretty quickly. Those moments taught me about ownership, apologizing, and course correction. One thing I've realized over time is that your family experiences whatever version of you remains after work takes its share. If we don't deal with stress, frustration, anxiety, or exhaustion appropriately, eventually that spills into the people around us, sometimes subtly, sometimes not. Coaching soccer has also reinforced a lot of these same ideas. Basics build confidence. Good teammates matter. People improve by trying difficult things, failing, getting feedback, and trying again. And honestly, good coaches, good captains, good shift leaders, and good fathers all do similar things. We teach the fundamentals. We create structure. We encourage effort. And then gradually step back enough for growth to happen. Sometimes leadership requires loudness for safety reasons. Most of the time, though, confidence and calm are more effective than constant noise. Movement became another important system for me over time. Not because I'm trying to become some fitness influencer. Movement is maintenance. Movement is medicine. A body at rest wants to stay at rest. But strength matters, conditioning matters, capability matters. It helps whether you're on the Jiu Jitsu mats, you're at work, you're carrying groceries, or just general tasks in life. And movement is one of the healthiest ways I've found to process stress and stay more steady mentally, too. And for me, personally, faith and gratitude help anchor everything. I'll never believe life was random. I see too much meaning in family, nature, relationships, and life itself. Simple routines help too. Getting up, putting my feet on the floor, giving thanks, making my bed, training. Those things keep me grounded. Because when we become internally chaotic, it becomes very difficult to spread calm everywhere else. The job is still the job. That part probably won't change much. But we can keep developing ourselves within it. Our minds need development. Our bodies need movement. Our spirits need anchoring. And the more I've lived through different environments, the more I've realized the systems that help humans perform well under pressure really aren't all that different. The environments change. The leadership lessons don't. Breathe, frame, keep showing up, survive. Godspeed, y'all. If this episode was helpful, share it with someone who could use it. You can find more at ownmoveanchor.com. I'm on Instagram and X at @Pannell and on YouTube at ownmoveanchor today. If you're getting value from the show, please like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps more people find the show. Own your mind, move your body, anchor your spirit. 3 pillars, 1 powerful you. Godspeed, y'all.